This video is Lesson A in Algebra 2, Geometry Review, Angles, Review of Absolute Value, Properties, and Definitions. And since the first few pages are a lot of reading, I'm going to leave that up to you to remember the definitions of lines, of segments, of points and curves and planes. That's all in the reading there, and that's up to you to take notes on that. On page 2, it talks about what a ray is, sometimes called a half line, and how to label those, and what a plane is, intersections, parallel lines, etc. But when we get to angles, I do want to stop here and kind of go over a few things with the angles to remind you. Remember that a straight angle is a 180-degree angle. It means that it might have started here and went all the way this way until it's a straight angle, or basically it looks like a line. A right angle is an angle that is at a 90-degree angle there, symbolized with a little box there to tell you that it's a right angle. If there is not a little box there, even though it looks like a right angle, you cannot assume it's a right angle unless it has the box there. So if it doesn't have the box, it's not a right angle. Another kind of angle that's less than 90 degrees is an acute angle, and a line segment that is, or an angle that is larger than 90 degrees, but less than a straight angle. So it's somewhere between here and the straight angle here. So it's somewhere in here. So it's between 90 degrees and 180 is called obtuse. And then a reflex angle would be all the other angles. An angle greater than a straight angle but less than two straight angles. So for the most part, it is an angle that is greater than a straight angle but less than two straight angles. So let me just draw where it would be. It would start here and go all the way over here up to here. So it would be somewhere between here and here. So it would be between 180 degrees and 360 degrees. So a right angle goes up to 90. A obtuse angle goes up to between 90 and 180. And reflex angle goes from 180 all the way up to 360. So when you're given an angle that looks like this, we have two rays that come off of our vertex here. One is called our initial ray, our initial position, and we go up to this one here, which is called our terminal position. So this is the initial ray, and this is the terminal ray, so you can get an idea of which ray we're talking about. This point right here where they are intersecting or whether they connect is called the vertex. And when you name an angle, you must name it one of two ways. Either angle A, B, C, where B is always the vertex, or the middle letter is always the vertex, or you could name it just by the vertex, angle B, and I'm okay with that. When we take two angles and we add them together, and we get 90 degrees when we add those two angles together, those are called complements of each other. So if I take this angle here, the white one and the yellow one, add them together and get a 90-degree angle, they're complements of each other. So if this is 30 and this is 60, they're complements of each other. So if I say, what is the complement of 30, you would say what I have to add to get 90, and you would say the complement of angle of the 30-degree angle is 60. Now supplement is the same thing, only we're talking 180-degree angle instead. So if this is 60, the complement of 60 is 120, because when I add them up, I get a supplementary angle, which is 180 degrees. When we're talking about vertical angles, we're talking about angles that are opposite each other. So if we have two lines that cross, we always have two sets of vertical angles. We have this one here, and we have the white one. And the nice thing about vertical angles, a good thing to remember, is vertical angles are always equal to each other. They're always the same measurement. So if this is 30, then this one would have to be 30. And if you'll notice, this here is a straight line, which you know that a straight line is 180 degrees. So if this angle is 30, then this angle to make the rest of that straight line is going to have to be 150 degrees, which means this one's going to be 150. So when I give you two lines that cross like that, and I only give you one of those angles, you can figure out the rest of them. You'll know this one's 40. And this one here is going to be 180 minus 40 because that's your supplementary angle there. So that is going to end up being 140. And then this one here will also be 140. So you can figure out a lot of angles given that information, which takes us to our first example here dealing with angles. They give us a straight line. They give us a 90-degree angle. They give us that. And that, and they tell us that this is 40, and they tell us this is 30. And what they're interested in you doing is finding out how many degrees this is and how many degrees that is. So that's what you're looking for. Well, if I know that this is 90, then this over here has to be 90 as well because it has to add up to 180. So if I know that this is a 90-degree angle and this is 30, then the complement, or what I have to get to add up to 90, is going to be a 60-degree angle here. I also know that because this is a 40-degree angle, all the way from here to here is 180 degrees. A straight line is always 180 degrees. So 180 minus the 40 that we're already given there, my y is going to be 140 degrees there. So it's kind of quick knowing that information to go ahead and figure out what our different angles are. Now let's look at example 3. Example 2 is very similar to what I did, so let's just jump to example 3. We've got two lines that cross each other, and we're told that this is 110, that this angle right here is 5x, and that this one is 2y, and this one is p. And they're asking us to find x, y, and p. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. Well, we know that this angle right here is 180. And since this is 110, this is going to be the difference between 110 and 180. So our P is going to be 70. So we found out that that is 70. And if that is 70, now look at what we've got here. We've got a straight line right here. And so that means this angle is going to be 180. Well, we know this is 70. So we know that if we take this angle plus this angle and add them up, we're going to get 180. So if we take 70, which we found this to be, and we add 5x, we're going to get 180 degrees. Well, we just do our simple algebra here. 5x equals 180 minus 70. So 5x equals 110. X, we divide both sides by 5. X equals 22. So x is 22. It didn't ask us how many degrees this angle was. It just asked us to find x. It didn't ask us how many degrees p is. It just asked us to find p. Now we're going to do this with y. We're going to find it. I know this angle here is 180 degrees, and I already have 110 of those degrees, so I know that this angle is going to be 70. Well, plus this one here is 70, and it's a cross, it's a vertical angle, so I know that 2y is going to be 70. But they didn't ask me what 2y is, they asked me what y is. So now I'm going to divide by 2, and y then equals 35. So I get 35 for y. So that was a quick and easy way to find out what x, y, and p are.